one, the only PBnJ Podcast. I am joined here by two gorgeous individuals. I'm looking at them right now. Look at them in their eyes.
Sweet.
Welcome.
And, they are gorgeous. We're joined also featuring my cat. This is a special episode. She's gotten into this weird habit of just meowing incessantly, and I've been ignoring her, and it's been working to get her to stop. And I think that this should be a case study for what you should do with your kid, Jordan.
Yes, we were talking about this, and I agree fully.
Because I'm just saying, I have a position I get in where I put my head to my desk and I just lay there for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at it, she's confused for 2 seconds, and she fucks right off and goes to sleep on my bed. Imagine you just put your head in your arms, your kid will go to bed, and you can train it. You can train it to go to bed in its own bed because you can just lock off access to the end of the bed.
Yeah.
This is just science, my guy.
Man, I'm telling you, it's 100%
science.
Family.
It doesn't work.
I'm about to lock this.
It doesn't work.
Have you tried it, my family?
I have family.
Listen, my guy. I think you haven't tried it because you haven't had complete support from your significant other.
Exactly.
I think both of you need to attack this problem together.
Yes. You actually must interlock arms.
Yeah, you guys are staging a peaceful protest, but instead of like some stupid fucking tree being cut, it's the sanctity of your marriage bed being protected.
Stupid fucking tree. I like that.
In fact,
that tree.
We're going to bring you some small chains as to not hurt the baby, but you're going to chain yourself to the baby.
You're not going to change.
No,
that defeats the purpose.
That defeats the purpose. I want to do the exact opposite of that.
Hold on. You're going to chain your wife to the baby. In the bed.
You're going to chain the baby to its own bed and then just let it cry it out.
Yeah, I don't think Patrick has the right idea here.
Was there a thing about him chaining his wife, though?
We're not going
down with that.
Oh,
that was babies involved there.
No, hold on. My bad. Different conversation.
100% different.
100%. My bad. So,
way off.
Sorry, my guys.
It's okay. So, in case you guys can't tell, I'm fucking tired, and this is going to be one hell of a ride. You know how usually we talk about like trains and railings or whatever the fuck? There are no rails. This train started off. Essentially, it's a train that's digging through the earth at thousands of kilometers a second somehow.
It's like
laser. That's how derailed we're going to be.
Yeah, diamond lasers. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and save diamond laser train talk for the second half. For now, actually, what I would like to do and kind of maybe pick at you guys a little bit. First of all, biggest thing, it is currently 2018. Welcome to the fucking future, guys.
Yeah, we haven't recorded those. We haven't recorded an episode since 2017. We're terrible people. We are sorry.
We're sorry it's been since 2017.
Yeah,
you know?
It's been so long.
Fucking
released the show since last year, dude.
I know, right?
I'm surprised you guys are sticking around. Thank you for sticking around for such a long time.
I'm surprised you guys are sticking around through this lame ass fucking last year fucking bit we got going on right now.
Look, we are the first people to ever think of this. We are geniuses. Don't ever buckle.
Yeah, this is brand new information here.
That's true.
This is the newest bit of 2018, and we came up with it.
Hashtag
trademark PB, the letter NJ. Don't forget it's the letter N.
I would like to. I think it's funny that because we have to say the letter N all the time to make sure that people, like, when they search for us, right?
I just imagine them Googling PB,
the letter NJ.
Yeah, because it's become part of our name now.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, what's the name of your podcast? I'm like, oh, PB, the letter NJ. Like, and that's become the name, and honestly I kind of like it, but differentiates us a little bit. So but other than New Year's, I'd like to get to New Year's because there's we actually haven't talked since before Christmas, guys.
Yeah,
I know.
True.
We've been busy boys with things, so I want to hear what you've been busy with that you couldn't talk to me.
Well,
I need excuses. I mean, family will only work for one, not the other. So you can choose Christmas or you can choose New Year's, but you can't use family for both. Explain to me why I wasn't invited to anything and why we didn't talk. Go. You're on the hot seat.
Family.
Patrick, you're first.
Family work family. Wait. No, so for Christmas, I actually had Christmas Day off, and we had already talked about Christmas, the three of us before. We didn't really do anything. I mean, we had some people over that day. right? I actually had a pretty decent Christmas. I got a interface that I'm using right now. Actually, finally,
I'm really excited about
good.
that. You sound good. I like it.
Yeah,
so
my guy.
I'm using the proper. Thank you, family. I'm using the proper microphone now. I have a cool little interface thing. It's got gizmos and gadgets on it.
Making my job
Gizmos and gadgets galore. You
now
want thingamabobs?
I want to get some add-ons for it now. Honestly, I want to get like a little soundboard thingy and like connect it to it, so I have buttons to press to make fart sounds.
Oh God! If you ever get that's the moment I'm leaving the show.
I'm gonna do it.
Not stop. You will not stop. Every 2 seconds you would hit that button because you have no impulse control.
Yeah, or like I mean, not just fart sounds, like clapping and like other things. Like I think it'd just be cool to have. My wife got me a badass model, like statue, kind of the original series Starship Enterprise. And then my buddy Chris got me like a poster that's a fucking like a diagram, you know? So now I have those on my wall with the diagram above the ship. It's really nerdy, but pretty fucking badass. So
that is some grade A quality shit right there. Because you know what? Here's how I see that. That just means that everyone understands you as a person, and they're just like, you know what? I could get him like a fucking razor. I could buy him that fucking Walmart $20 take care of your face kit. No, I know what he likes. I know what he wants. Starship Enterprise, OG, diagram and model.
I got a couple Funkos too. Like I got a Davros Funko Pop. He's a bad guy from Doctor Who. Yeah. I got the little stormtrooper that's actually behind me in this video right now.
He's defending the box.
Him. Yeah, he's defending the box that I haven't put together yet.
He's been shooting this whole time. We just didn't notice because he sucks at aiming.
Yeah, he sucks really
Another
bad
original
aiming.
joke. We are all
man, we're like fucking the original series.
We are.
Anyway, Christmas was good though. Like I don't usually get to have good Christmases. This last year, me and my wife did really well. So you know,
I get to have good Christmases.
Well, no, I mean Christmas is always good. My kids always have a great Christmas. Santa brought my kids lots of really cool shit. Chloe got a little plastic 4-wheeler like Power Wheels thing.
Yeah,
it's neat, man. Although I'm gonna convert it to 24 volt, so it's faster.
I still say, because we talked about this, I still say we put a car battery in that shit, convert it to car battery, get her on the highway. I want her Autobahn ready.
That's funny.
It's not a bad idea, man.
Well,
I want to see her drift in that plastic car.
It has a good amount of power, honestly. Like the hill in the front of my yard is kind of steep, and it climbs right up it. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, it just needs to go a little faster. Okay. So Christmas was awesome. Like I said, we had people over, and my wife, she ended up cleaning. I got her some Michael Kors. She got a bag and a wallet.
That MK status.
Wow,
that is fancy.
It's that's just expensive. And honestly, can somebody explain to me why a wallet about yay big, is
$120
anywhere near $100?
Because it has an M and a K on it, my guy.
It's like I was like,
you're paying for the name the whole time. It's just a status.
Oh yeah, but you know what?
That's why you go down 192. You hit up one of those flea markets. You get the same shit for like $12.
Now, I didn't do that because I didn't want to cheap out. So she wanted.
I know you didn't, because I actually found your search history because I forgot we were both signed into the PBnJ Podcast Google account.
Oh god!
So our search history intermingled. So I was looking, and on one end was like stupid fucking memes and shit. And then all of a sudden I'm like, Michael Kors bags? When the fuck did I look up a Michael Kors bag? Why am I Googling Michael Kors bags? Did I take Ambien? What the fuck? Did the Ambien Walrus just send me a Michael Kors bag? Am I feeling fancy? What's going on?
Which is, by the way, a good point to Google constantly tracking everything we're doing. I'm okay with it because usually it's targeted ads, things that I would like, whatever. But it is funny that because we all have the same login for the podcast stuff, right? So a lot of what we do and use is Google based because it's free. Let's be honest. and
they're also the best.
So Bryce did call me out on that. Like we only told him what I was looking for, and he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense." He thought he was fucking going crazy. Which is funny.
I did because I'm not that far from going. Like I'm one floor of the cuckoo's nest, my guy. Like I'm fucked.
We're watching you right now, and you fucked that up.
So. I'm deteriorating at a very rapid pace, and you know what? At about on the break, I'm gonna take one of these melatonin.
Yeah.
I want to see how far gone I can go before I just
God.
Oh,
the show's not getting put up tonight.
No, the show's getting put up. It's gonna be very interesting.
I don't think it's a good idea for you to.
We're gonna make it
anyway. So, I mean, that was my Christmas. Like I said, it was pretty awesome. We had the people over. We chilled out. We fucking, kids went to bed, and then we were up till 2:30. Because parent life, I guess. But
yeah, of course.
I don't. I'll wait to get into my. I'll wait to get into my new year. I think until I hear about y'all's Christmas.
I worked on Christmas. From 8 to 5. It didn't really matter.
Was it really slow?
At parts, other parts, there was a bunch of people who were like, I just bought this. I'm sorry you have to work on Christmas. I just bought this device, and I hate when
people say that because the reason I'm fucking working is because
people you're calling.
Like, oh, they're probably open. Fuck you.
You're not sorry. Fuck you.
Yeah, like you're not actually sorry, because if you were, you wouldn't have called. You know that you created a demand for this, and now I'm working because of you. So don't apologize and act like you're not the bad guy. Don't try and make it my company.
How about when you pick up and you say your greeting and they're like, oh, I didn't think you guys would be open today.
Oh, so what were you holding for, honey? What, did you think you were just going to hold in here? Hey, we just wanted to give you some free music to listen to, some hold music, because we know everyone likes that for the holidays. Happy holidays.
So stupid.
And then they can yell at the recording, it's Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays.
Yeah, that's annoying also.
That drives me nuts too, because the people will make a point, like when you're talking to them when you work on Christmas, they'll make a point to say Merry Christmas. And then there's that moment of you can tell they're testing you to see if you'll say it back. And I do, because if you're saying Merry Christmas in May, then I'll throw it back at you. If you say Happy Holidays, I'll throw it back at you.
Listen, the only reason I don't just say Merry Christmas is not to try to be politically correct, yada yada, but because I am respective of that there are other holidays that are occurring at the same time of other religions or cultures.
I don't know if
holidays is a way.
The person I'm talking to is Jehovah's Witness, who doesn't celebrate anything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just
say that all of a sudden it's a celebration. I just infringed on their faith.
The other side of that, though, if I say to you in goodwill, right, just as a greeting or a goodbye, Merry Christmas, Yeah,
don't attack me.
Don't attack me for it, because then you're just being an asshole. I was just trying to be nice. Yep. You know what I mean? So there's also that. So it is a weird fucking line.
I say it all the time, and I don't give a shit, because I celebrate Christmas because free stuff. Yay.
You're fine.
But also Merca and I celebrate Christmas, so I'm gonna say it. I don't give a shit. And if you don't like it, guess what? I have a hang up button.
Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce you to my manager, Relisha. You have yourself a fantastic Christmas.
You're retarded.
I like that.
So Jordan, so wait, actually, hold on. So Bryce, you worked. What time did you work till on Christmas?
5.
That's not too bad.
It was 8 to 5. It was a pretty decently chill day, and then afterwards, I hung out in some streams. There were some streamers I follow who did Christmas themed streams, and I had Christmas with them. They built gingerbread houses, which was really cool.
That's cool.
We were all just watching them, and we were giving them advice on what to do and sharing Christmas memories and techniques and shit. It was actually a really cool. I feel like the internet gets a really bad rep because of all the horrible shit that's on it. But it's moments like that wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't be chill with any of those people. I wouldn't know them, and we wouldn't all be in this cohesive unit for Christmas, to where it was just a bunch of friends hanging out. We didn't have to drive somewhere, dress up, but we all got to have that holiday feeling of sitting by the camp, or not the campfire, but the hearth fire, and just being I remember this one Christmas.
The good old Yule log.
By the Yule log, which
the virtual Yule log
on the TV.
Yule logs. You guys know what the tradition of the Yule log is, essentially?
What is that?
It's a bunch of kids yelling at a yog, "Give me presents," and then just
yelling at a yog.
Yelling at a yog.
Yeah, it's a Yule log yog. I'm just trying to be efficient. Don't fuck with me for being good.
I apologize.
I think the name of this episode is going to be "Yuling at a Yog."
Yeah, yuling at a yog. Okay, I like that. But they yell at it to give them presents, light it on fire, and it shits the presents out for the next morning. It's literally log shit that their presents are. That's the purpose of the Yule log.
Now, I know that there is another like tradition wrapped around the Yule log. It's not just the whole presents part of it. Like,
of course, but there. I just wanted to point out the really weird thing about it, which is, holy shit, it's a bunch of kids hitting a log with sticks.
My presents are poop. I love it.
My presents are poop, and I beat up a part of a dead tree with baby parts of a dead tree to get them, and then I lit it on fire. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
That's essentially what it breaks down to.
That's awesome. So now we all know that you got yourself stuff. Well, I guess the viewers don't. Bryce overindulged on a.
I got mad because a certain company named Blamazon.com, in case they decide to sponsor us one day, decided that they were going to have a graphics card that I ordered that they said was going to be restocked on the 25th. So I'm hyped. It was a great deal. Decent graphics card, not top of the line by any means, but it was good for what I was doing.
Okay. It was gonna allow you to experience your VR more than.
Yeah, it was gonna completely open the gate to anything in VR, even in the future of this hardware, because it's the graphics card I was gonna have was like the bare minimum to experience everything that this version of the Oculus can produce, and so I was hyped for that. I was very excited. And a couple days later, I noticed that, hey, it's supposed to be delivered today, but it doesn't even show that it left the shipping facility to go to where the people will get it to me. What's going on? I called them. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're not going to stock that anymore. They didn't send me an email. They didn't do shit.
They didn't cancel the order.
They didn't auto-cancel the order. They're out of stock. They didn't inform me.
How long do you think it would have been? Do you think that there's like an auto cancel point at so many days if it doesn't ship, your auto canceled or something, or would it have just been?
No idea. Forever? I think it would have been forever. Honestly,
that's fucking horrible.
That's bullshit.
So
that's why I shop on Amazon and not Blamazon. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, that's why you should go to Amazon.com and not Blamazon. Blamazon is fuckwits. All they do is blame other people.
Blamazon crime.
So I ended up going into Best Buy. I can say their name because if they sponsor us, this is a good story. And the dude there was very nice. I explained to him, hey, Blamazon just fucked me in the ass.
Yep.
I need you to hook me up with a graphics card. I was looking at this, but now I'm mad, so I'm going to spend some mad money. So I was going to be spending about $300 and something on the graphics card I ordered, and that was on a good deal. Yep. I got a good deal on a better graphics card, ended up being closer to $500. I gave no shits because I was like, I'm going to treat myself because I'm mad.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you may as well. It's Christmas too.
It's yeah.
That was your Christmas present
to me.
That's like Merry Christmas, me.
Merry Christmas, me. I'm not going to have to get a graphics card even when I get the next version of VR. Deuces. So I walked out of there with the graphics card, installed it the same day, played on VR all day. It was fantastic, and I was a very happy guy. So my Christmas was great in that regard.
That is pretty fucking awesome. Yeah. Well,
Jordan, I need your excuses now. You've gotten both of us to talk first. I noticed that.
You like it?
I do. I like the delay tactic. So remember, family can only be used once, so use it wisely.
No, actually, mine was really good. I mean, of course, we did the whole family thing. We did at my house Christmas Eve, or not my house, but my mom's house Christmas Eve, and I got some really cool, funny shirts and shit like that.
Nice.
An assload of PlayStation Store money, like ridiculous. And so that was really cool. My son got a bunch of cool shit.
Too. What? I'm gonna buy Battlefront 2. You should buy it and play it with me.
Oh, I'll have to get Battlefront 2 now. No, if Patrick gets it, we all get it.
I'm not gonna buy it.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so that was Christmas Eve. That was at my mom's house. It was a lot of fun. It was cool.
Nice.
And then Christmas Day, we went and had dinner and spent the whole day at my wife's father's house.
Okay.
Excuse me. And one of the really cool things is he got one of the Power Wheels type things for my son too.
Nice.
One of those big GMC Sierras.
Hell yeah.
Oh, cool.
Cool. I can't wait to ride in that shit myself.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I rode on
that was cool. It was really awesome with the exception of one moment where in in his back patio, he has a swing bench thing that's like tied to the ceiling.
Yeah, like the chains or rope.
Yeah, chains.
Yeah, the chain one. Yeah.
There's got one, and my son wanted to sit on it and rock back and forth, so me and him sat on it, and we, rocked back and forth for a minute, and then he wanted to get down, and then he had on these shitty, like, alligator Crocs on, slipped on the tile, busted his lip open.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah, like tooth through the lip.
Oh,
yeah.
That
was pretty bad.
Sucks, man.
But yeah,
is he okay now, or
tried for a couple of minutes and then
no, he died.
Yeah, is he dead? Did he die?
Yeah. But thankfully, I got another one on the way. So
yeah, replacement orders are always good.
That's true. You obviously did not shop for your baby at Blamazon.
Well,
yeah.
They'd have been like, "Oh, the baby's discontinued."
You wouldn't have even got the email that your kid died. You would have just been looking at him like, "Why isn't he moving anymore?"
I don't understand what's going on. You call for warranty, they're like, "Oh, about that."
Listen, no more stock.
Right? Know about that.
Yeah, we're out of those. Sorry.
Good luck.
All we have are troll babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Aside from that, we had a really good time. He only cried for a couple of minutes. And then later on in the day, well, the day after Christmas, the 26th and the 27th, I got my Christmas presents from me in the mail.
What were yours?
Yay, congratulations.
2 new guitars.
2 new guitars.
Yeah.
So that makes 7? He has to count.
It's pretty bad that you had to turn around and count how many you had.
You're like, you know what? It is plausible that I have 7, and in fact, I do.
I do have 7.
I do have 7. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I can play one. I can almost play one for each finger. I have to chop 3 of my fingers off.
I'll get there. I'll get there soon.
Oh no, I know you're gonna make it to where you can play one for each toes and fingers.
Yep, one day. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good day. But I'm really excited about
PBnJ Podcast listeners, all 5 of you. We need to get famous so we can get Jordan guitars. You are his guitar.
Yes, please.
You are the Jordan guitars.
Yes. Yeah. But for now, I'm really, really happy with these 2. So I think I'm done for a while.
Nice. Okay. Nice. So good choice on what you chose, and you really like them, and they play how you expected, and all that good shit.
Absolutely perfect.
Wunderbar.
Happier.
Well, I'm happy for you, man.
Happy to hear that, man. That's freaking awesome. So, what about New Year's? I know that I asked Bryce. What he was doing for New Year's, right? Fucking Bryce.
His response is the best.
He's like, I think I'm gonna go to the bar and be somebody's first regret of 2018. I was like, oh
yeah, the first morning regret of 2018.
So what did you do?
I didn't do that, and I'm disappointed I didn't do that because that was a really good that was a good plan.
You should just go to my house then.
Well, probably. I ended up streaming actually because I got really. I've set a goal for myself to where I want to get affiliate, and for those of you who don't know, affiliate is essentially a program where if you stream enough consistently, you get a certain number of viewers consistently, and you have a certain number of followers, you get a sub button, and it's like a baby sub button, and you get emote. You get one emote that is yours that could be used by anyone who subs to you anywhere on the site.
Mm-hmm.
And collecting emotes is like a thing that people do. It's like insane. Yeah. And I literally just want it because I have access to my own emote at that point. I don't have to pay for it. And I'm going to make a sloth with sunglasses be my emote. I already have it made.
Is anytime anybody subs to you, it also sends you a kickback too.
Yeah, I would get 50%. So each sub is $5 unless they decided to do like a $10, $25 sub, and I get half of that. So,
nice.
It's a little bit of income. It's not a lot by any means up until I get a decent following and I actually get subscribers. There are people with 400 or 500 subscribers. And that's just subscriber money. That's not including the donations they get all the time.
Yep.
Just to stream. I mean, I wouldn't even have to work if that's what ended up happening, and I could just live my life entertaining people.
Well, I mean, we did talk about possibly because we do our YouTube stream like we're doing right now.
Yeah,
but switching to Twitch.
Running both.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we could do that.
I will state though that once you become a full-blown sub Reno Al Pacino verified bona fide channel on Twitch, I recall correctly, there are licensing things and stuff like that to where you can only stream on Twitch. So we'll talk about that. This is a little more behind the scenes shit.
I don't know, because there's other podcasts that me and Jordan listen to, and they do Twitch now, right? And that's how I learned about the sub button, was them talking about it. They got it right away, but I think that's just because the amount of listeners that probably.
Oh yeah. There are people. There are celebrities, like Post Malone, for instance. He started streaming on Twitch just for fun. And instant sub button, stuff like that. Just because when you already have that much of a following where you're guaranteed to get people in, Twitch is like, yes, we will let people pay you because we get the other half of that.
Yeah, that's
free. They also stream Facebook live as well. So
I think it's different because Facebook isn't a competitor with Twitch. YouTube is. I think it's between YouTube and Twitch. Like, I think Facebook Live, that's more considered like a social media
makes
thing.
Sense, yeah.
And so that's like allowed.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then we can switch our secondary stream to Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's pretty freaking cool. So
I played Resident Evil 7. I figured, Christmas time, let's have.
Did you play it on Oculus?
I didn't. One, because Oculus can't be set up for the PC version that I know.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe it can. I didn't really try too hard. I will have to because I'm going to be doing future playthroughs.
And also, I want to be the guy watching Bryce play the games, right? Because I talked to a couple people who watched our stream and watched our video with you in the fucking VR last week. And we've all come to agreement that is no matter how really cool it is and how amazing you probably feel, no matter what, you look like a goofball.
You look like a dork. Yep.
I don't give a shit. I was having a great time.
Massive fucking goofus.
I'm gonna be a goofus all day.
Motherfucking goofus.
Goofimus Prime right here. Fight me, IRL. FD phony, bro.
FD phony. So
beat me to it. Damn.
So I guess my New Year's excuse is I actually I had to work. I didn't even get off work until 10.
Yeah, you didn't get off till 10, which was surprising because usually like New Year's it's slower in a call center just because people are getting drunk and not worried about, their shit.
Yeah, well, it sucked. I worked the night before and then I worked the day, New Year's Day. New Year's Day was really slow, but I also ended up working till 10. But New Year's Eve, man, got home. I actually had to drop a buddy off because his car's broken. Had to zip home. And so my sister and her kids, and her girlfriend are staying the night. So like, oh yeah, we're gonna wait for you to watch a movie. So I'm like, all right, cool, New Year's movie, I get home and I'm like, all right, well, what do we want to watch? They're like, oh, this movie or this movie on, and use Terrarium and use Chromecast. I'm like, all right. Chromecast not plugged in, Chromecast not set up, nothing's plugged into anything. They have not looked at these movies.
They waited for you.
Wow.
Then hold on. Then they I'm like, well, did you check to see if the movie streams are any good? Because they may or may not be legal streams, right?
Well, yeah.
And they're all crap.
And the quality may be dubious.
And they were really bad quality. I was like, well, then why did you guys want to watch this? Didn't you think to check this? No. I'm like, okay. So then I had to spend like 35 plus minutes, finding a movie. Oh, you guys want to watch this? You guys want to watch this? You guys want to watch
No. I mean, that sounds good. I don't want to watch that. Okay,
then we took a break between that, and we always watch the ball drop. That's something that we always do. We turn on the Dick Clark's fucking
New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yeah.
And we watch the ball drop, and then we all count down. We didn't have fireworks this year. Usually we do.
My neighbors haven't stopped with the fireworks. Like,
yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Because mine have not really been blowing any fireworks up except for during the day. They on New Year's Eve they were like once every hour or so. But since New Year's they've stopped. But the these fucking we walk outside, guys. It was a roar of fucking of sound. Like it was, and the people around me weren't even blowing anything up yet. And the sound that it was that you could hear was ridiculous. It was so fucking loud. I was like, this is insane.
It's a war zone. My street legitimately had a fog of war from all the fireworks. It was so thick, it was like I was in Silent Hill. I couldn't see like my hand in front of me.
Dude.
And it just smelled like sulfur.
Crazy.
It was
absolutely. And then thankfully my neighbors behind me, in front of me, and like kind of next to me all started shooting off mortars for like a good 10, 15 minutes. So the kids sat out there and they were like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, they got fireworks and it was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Went in, finally watched a movie. Everybody except for me fell asleep halfway through, turned it off, went to bed.
Nice.
So
the one thing I did end up doing was because of a series of memes. The whole play this at this exact moment and then you'll start the new year with this.
Yeah.
I did it with Logic's song about suicide, to where the exact moment the ball dropped, he sings out the line, I don't want to be alive. So that way all of 2018 knew how I felt at that moment. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm so fucking tired. I think that's going to be a tradition from now on. Even when the meme's dead, I'm going to find a song or something to start off. So when the ball drops, that moment is when that's going to be the flavor of that year.
And
memes always come back. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I got to say though, that 2018, I was like, holy shit. And then it's just a normal year, just like any other year. Right. I assume Jordan probably went to bed at what, 9:30
on New Year's?
Mm-hmm.
No. I wish.
8 o'clock. Duh.
Oh, my bad.
9:25, bitch.
What did you do, old man Jelly?
No, nothing. I was here, just chilling. I was actually New Year's Eve, like when midnight struck, I was restringing one of my new guitars. But I had to go into the bedroom because my son's deathly afraid of fireworks.
Yeah.
And they would not stop, man.
Yeah.
I gotta say, missed opportunity. We were all just home. Next year, I promise, if we're all just home, we're gonna put out a New Year's Eve show.
That'd be cool.
We should have, because I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, we were all just here. So sorry, guys, we fucking suck.
We dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Hey.
We're so funny. That's why you fucking tune in, folks. Right there. So, yep, I will see myself out.
I think on that though, I think we should take a break.
Well, yeah, we can. I only had one question actually before we take a break.
Yeah.
For just going into 2018, I just want to wrap up all the New Year talk and shit before we go to break, because I think after break we're going to exclusively talk about, we've been teasing for a little while, Bryce's favorite movie.
No, fuck you.
His favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, favorite all time. Anyway, this is the question I want to ask you guys. So it's 2018, right? And I mean, think of all the technology and how far along things are. We can fucking 3D print whole houses, food. We can genetically modify a plant to grow literally wherever we want it to. Like,
we've grown meat in a lab.
Yeah, right. So we can clone. You can get your dog. You can go to South Korea, get your dog cloned. So it's 2018. Where do you think the expectation was? Let's say when you were a kid, what were you expecting in 2018?
I thought we were all gonna be dead.
And do you think? And are you happy or disappointed or just like, this is where I thought we'd be for coming into. I mean, it's the fucking future, right?
Well, when I was a kid, I couldn't see myself being a certain age. So I assumed because I couldn't imagine it, something was going to happen to stop it before then. So either I was going to be dead or the world was going to end.
So you've always been this way.
I've never changed. I only got slightly less annoying as I grew older. That's it. Everything else is the exact same. I legit thought I was going to die or the world was going to end. So I figured 2018 was just not even worth thinking about because I was going to be dead by then. That was the thought.
Hilarious.
Okay. I thought that I was like a precog and there was going to be a car accident or the world was going to explode or some shit. And I was like, wait, 2012, because I was really big in mythology when I was a kid. So I was like, oh, the Mayan thing must be real. That's why I can't imagine this age and this time, because the world's going to end in 2012.
And do you think that we have met expectations or missed expectations for, let's say your
for my prediction? I'm going to say we missed the expectations of being dead. I would say I'm happy that we're not.
Yay!
Humanity has a future or whatever, and I kind of like being alive as much as I,
blah, blah, blah.
sometimes want to die.
Blah blah blah. Alive. Okay, Jordan. Same question.
Well,
where did you expect to be, and are you happy with where we are?
Not as demented as butter over there.
What's demented about that?
You're slowly melting, which is why you're butter. Just calm down.
No,
we're waiting for you to become spreadable.
Hey.
Technologically, I think we missed the mark from my expectations as a kid. With an understanding now, like being older and understanding technology, I get it, but I thought we'd have like flying cars, colonizing the moon and shit, like maybe a few hour trip to the moon and back, shit like that.
At the very least, I thought we would have cloning past where we do now. I will say that if the world did make it, I figured we would have better cloning to where we could like clone organs already. Because
I mean, I think they can. It's just
very
very illegal, and they don't want to do that.
What I mean is, I figured like it would be like a part of our everyday facet of life to where you just have an organ bank now and just pay money towards your loan, and now you have a backup lung. Cool. Because when I was a kid in the 90s, they talked about Dolly, the sheep.
Yeah,
her name was Dolly, right? Yeah.
I think so.
The clone sheep, and it was like this big fucking deal that even when you're in 5th grade, they're like, this sheep was cloned and it's alive, and we're like, oh, cloning is real. In 20 years, we will have organ banks.
But cloning is perfected, though. I mean, honestly, like I watched this whole thing about them hunting down DNA of frozen woolly mammoths, and they do find DNA. Like, and it's crazy how much DNA they find. They just haven't found a complete strand yet, right?
Well, yeah, because
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But this company, they've cloned a bunch of shit. They'll clone your dog though. That's the joke I made before, but they really will.
Yeah, the South Korean company, yeah.
And the dog will have a normal lifespan and just be 100% identical to your other dog, which is pretty crazy. I mean, so I mean we are there, but it's because of, let's be honest, religion in state and money, and people not wanting that technology because that would cure too many things. I mean, there's too many things preventing the technology. Like, my view on it is we have it, they're just not letting us have it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay,
that's accurate. I can see that.
I think my expectation, this is when I was a kid, I much like Jordan, I had the same thing. I was like, cars are going to be hover cars,
closer to the Jetsons than we are now.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a colony on Mars. We will be colonizing, on the moon, we'll be colonizing Mars. Things like that. Well, even though AI is really good now, like Google Assistant and that kind of shit, I expected like to be, full blown AI.
Jarvis quality.
Exactly. And that doesn't exist. But at the same time, I think 100% of that all exists already. The ability to colonize the moon and Mars exists already. It's just that because special interest and money, they're not letting us fucking have it. That's my opinion. I think the future is here, but because we haven't moved past currency,
our availability to it is where we missed the mark.
What we need is aliens to come show us the error of our economy and how we use money and wealth improperly, and then they'll fix it for us or kill us all.
We can only hope.
We can only hope.
So,
and on that not depressing note at all,
now
we shall take a break.
Yeah, let's do it. BRB.
So, guys, I don't know if you noticed, I took that melatonin like right before I said that. So we're on a time limit.
Did you? Oh, Lord.
Did. I want to get as sleepy as possible so I can say some weird shit.
I think one day we should record a whole show like that, like take NyQuil or something.
Thankfully, though, melatonin, I used to take melatonin all the time. It never would fuck me up if I resisted it because it's like a natural fucking shit.
Well, yeah. That's why I took it without any fear. I just want to be super tired, so I go to bed immediately after.
All right, so this break, I assume that because we're just shooting the show out, that this is just going to be a quick break, so we can just come back from break now.
I'm watching the trailer for the core.
Oh yeah, do that real quick. We'll get a little prep work done. Jordan, you should make sure to do the same thing.
Let me do that right now too.
If you are here with us right now, either watching the video after the fact, we currently have nobody watching at the moment because we're losers. I'm just kidding. We're famous. Yeah. If you're here with us, you get to see, just us chilling out between, not segments.
Yeah.
All this kind of shit is cut out for the
audio.
The audio version.
Y'all want to see my new guitars real quick before I watch this trailer?
Yeah, of course.
You really need to watch this trailer. I forgot how terrible it was.
Dude, I watched
want me to hack the planet. I need Star Trek tapes and Hot Pockets. Actual quote.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna watch that in a second. So this is the first one. It's a 7-string.
Nice.
Also, the trailer does confirm it wasn't an earthquake that destroyed the Golden Gate. It was, in fact, the microwave.
I have a microwave. Can I destroy bridges?
Apparently.
Probably.
Testing that later. And this is the second one. The regular 6-string.
They just showed like 90% of this film.
I like that, Jordan.
I realized it was all the way to 2003.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know if you can see that carbon fiber inlay badge thing right
here. You can't. Okay, so you can, but to me it just looked pixely until you pointed out that it was carbon fiber, and now I totally see it.
That's cool.
It's looking good, my guy.
It's pretty dope, man.
So when are you going to play for us? When are we going to get a private concert? Actually, because we were talking about NyQuil earlier, do you guys know about the NyQuil challenge? Did you ever hear about that?
No, it sounds fun.
Well, it's also known as the Tylenol challenge. But essentially, you take a sleep-related medicine, and then you start jacking off, and you try and see if you can finish jacking before you fall asleep. And the point of the game is no matter what, you always win because you either fall asleep or you orgasm.
So, I've done that, not
intentionally.
Not intentionally. No,
yeah.
But I last a whole lot longer on it, so I eventually give up.
You lose focus.
Oh, fuck it, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, you lose focus. Like in the middle of it, you just start falling asleep. You wake up and you're like, "Wait a second, I was doing so." Oh yeah, I got to get back to it.
Yeah.
That's
very accurate.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that because that is a real thing.
Other things that I got for Christmas. This is just for you guys, though.
Yeah, this is just for us and the people who watch live. This is the special behind the scenes bonus Christmas gift.
So I got a pop of Lord Shax.
Oh, I have
nice. By the way,
I also got the Vault of Glass Titan figure. I don't know where I have him right now.
Nice.
So I'm gonna make your XCOM character a sniper, and I gave him an eye patch, and I made your suit look close to Solid Snake's.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That looks cool, dude.
That is pretty cool.
I love the fact that the coat is like naturally like poofed out, so it looks like it's blowing in the wind at all times.
You know why? Because he has this big ass fucking machine gun on the back.
Oh Jesus!
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah, that's lit.
It is pretty badass. I have no idea where.
Did you see the ship in the poster I was showing you when I moved my camera?
No.
Why weren't you looking?
I was looking, but you were moving so fast I couldn't figure out what you were trying to show me.
What?
Do it again.
I can't. It's too far away. I gotta stand up and put my junk in the camera.
All right, I'm gonna watch this trailer real quick.
Yeah, watch the trailer. It's glorious. It makes me so happy with how stupid it is. You want me to hack the planet?
Yeah, dude. Watch it. It's amazing.
Not only that, but they do the voiceover thing.
Wait,
in the
what
world.
Did he just say?
The planet is about to die.
Essentially, yeah, they do the voiceover thing.
Designed to use
Project
earthquakes
Destiny
to attack our enemies.
Until something went wrong.
There's a lot of fucking famous people in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of fucking famous people. That was the whole point of this movie. There was many famous faces as they can at it,
and see what happens.
Mid-tier famous, you know?
Yeah.
On a budget.
On a budget.
Also, the core is suddenly the size of Mars.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
DJ Qualls.
How big is the core? Google that.
He literally said that. Hold on, I need to rewind that.
Uh, 1,220 kilometers, about 760 miles, also known as not the size of fucking Mars.
Google how big Mars is.
Okay.
I want to know the difference. I want you, and I want you to just do the difference for me. Like I want to know.
Yeah. No, I know.
The level of exaggeration.
2,160 miles. Mars is 3 times the size of the core. To put it in perspective, Earth
outrun a shockwave. Get the fuck out of here.
We're gonna outrun the shockwave, guy.
Don't worry, my guy.
I need to watch this movie.
You do need to watch the movie.
What I love is even in the trailer, they even have the guy say, "Oh, I have my wife and children." So you know from the get-go, from the trailer, that guy's fucking dead.
Yep.
Like,
when did this movie come out?
2003.
There's really shitty CGI shit in here.
No, legit, it's really bad. Also, we have to go through the Pacific Ocean because we've developed this super intense and powerful drill that's designed to go through the planet, but we can't afford the extra 2 miles of digging.
It's so bad.
Logic.
Oh my god.
Also, the whole point of our system is it converts heat to energy. So let's make it to where we get less heat and less energy. Science, motherfucker.
Somebody has the full movie Bicentennial Man on YouTube.
I'm not surprised. There are a lot of gyms like that. Like people do weird stuff too to avoid the content flag ID, where they'll like put a border around it to where it makes it look like a TV, right? And because of that, it avoids like the one-for-one image.
This one has like a microscopic one.
And I'm back.
Yeah. And then they slow down the audio a lot of times to like half speed, to where if you do the double time speed on the video, it'll sound normal.
It works. Yeah.
But because when the video plays normal, the bots that detect it just don't. Wow, I'm already like.
This thing is the legit audio. I think it's just the border that
the border just tricked it. Then
it's been on there for almost 6 years too. The full fucking movie.
Well, no one cares about Bicentennial Man. That's why.
You gonna watch it?
I am. It only has 596,000 views. That's crazy.
Well, if it had too many views, it would pop up on some fucking chart, and then they would know it's there, and then it would.
So 500,000 views on an hour-plus movie.
It's 2 hours 6 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours and 6 minutes. It's not enough. I need more.
I forgot how bad that movie was.
Someone messaged me. Wait,
all right.
What? Hold up.
What?
Hold up.
Someone hit me up on OkCupid.
Oh boy.
Do we want to talk about that on the audio version since we're talking about it on our live stream right now?
Nah.
So is this video content only?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She's a Slytherin. Interesting.
She hot?
She's all right. She's all right.
I want to see.
She looks familiar for some reason, and I don't know why.
Hold up photos, though.
Now we're getting way too much into
Creeper.
Yeah. So we're gonna back it up, and then the rest of it. We can talk more about this off the show. Exactly. So she'll know I'll have a podcast, and then she'll hear me like talk about her before I even knew her. That's weird.
Yeah, that's true. So don't tell her about it.
Obviously, all this is getting cut.
That's literally impossible.
So we're putting it in reverse real quick. That's all I'm saying. So
we ready to come back?
Yeah, let's make this happen, Captain.
Oh, hang on. Let me switch back to log.
So do you essentially get the point of the movie, The Core, now?
Yeah. Yes, and it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking... it's so glorious. That's the movie I want to use to hold the standard of, like, if you can't take apart that movie, you can't take apart a single film. Like, you can't be trusted to judge. If you think that movie is perfect as is, you can't be trusted to judge anything, and you should probably just be euthanized.
I liked that movie.
Perfect example. Patrick, what are you doing tomorrow?
Well,
I need to go to a clinic.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we come back. So,
Bryce,
what?
Neil wants to know if the XCOM characters are still in production.
They are, and I need to make a Neil one. So if he wants to make any suggestions or anything, I want to make Neil's with a monocle. And just like headcanon, it's not actually monocle, it's his bionic eye. That's like my headcanon, and I want him to be... I'm making you a sniper, I think. Either a sniper or... I can't remember the other class, but they're the shotgunners / blade wheelers.
Titan.
Well, no. It would be the equivalent of a Titan, but it's also the equivalent of a hunter. You know, the blade hunter? Because they have stealth. The ranger, that's what they're called. So, I was thinking of that. Patrick, you're going to be a tech. You're going to be my hack-a-man.
He's going to be bald.
Yeah, he's bald.
Yes.
Good.
I did give you some cool shades. Yeah, I got you with a hat. Don't worry. Yeah.
Neil said he prefers to roll the die and see what he gets. So it's all on you.
Okay. Bionic eye it is, Neil.
Are you who's gonna bring us back?
I want to make Ben one, but the monocle, if I can make the monocle on the other eye so they can be like partners.
So if they
bionic eye brothers,
they'd have
two bionic eyes.
Yeah.
What do they have to like work together to get like one image?
Well, yeah, that's the idea. One super image because it's bionic eye. The other eye works fine. So then
like Barrett and Dine.
Exactly, except with instead of gun arms.
Bionic eyes. Yeah. Gun eyes.
Yeah, what? 2018, where's my gun eyes? All right, I take back what I said. I'm disappointed in 2018. I want gun eyes.
Oh, shit.
I'll bring us back. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. Are we going to do another 3, 2, 1?
Yes. Yeah, to line up, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to point at you guys. You ready?
Yep.
3,
2, 1.
Go. Welcome back. We had a very productive break, and by productive, I mean we didn't do anything. We just chilled and talked more. But you would have known that if you watched the video. So you're welcome.
So if you check us out on YouTube or you're watching us live, you know what we do on breaks, and it's not pretty. Yeah.
We have sexy parties. And,
we do. The sexy party.
And only our special people are invited. So.
Yep.
But yeah, so welcome back. We are now about to do what we've been talking about doing forever, and what I've been...
Take a journey to the center of the earth.
I've been dreading and both like super excited about, because this is probably the culmination of everything I hate about a film. One, I hate disaster movies to the max, not just because of the bad science, but because they have a bad habit of excusing terrible writing and like bad acting. Like anyone in a disaster film, generally speaking, mails it in because they know that they're just a pretty face to put on there to get some people in. Everyone's showing up to watch people like blow up in like CGI explosions.
What's so funny about that, Bryce, is on the opposite end of that. I like disaster movies for that reason. I like them for the just nonsensical back-to-back action sequences that are usually happening.
As they're in the car driving away, the buildings are destroying around them. They're like, we gotta go through.
And it's kind of like I liked Sharknado and the sequels for what they were, because they were terrible ridiculous nonsense.
Yeah.
And they were fucking amazing for it. And I loved it. So the core, when me and Bryce,
it's the mainstream Sharknado.
It is mainstream Sharknado.
Yeah.
So tell me, why don't you go over that with us, Bling, and bring us on a wonderful journey to the core, Bryce.
So the core is a movie about the U.S. government having a super secret, super serial secret project that's so secret you find out about it in the fucking trailer for the film. Super serial, super secret weapon called Project Destiny.
Actually, hold on. I would like to just do a little test of how good they are at trailers or not. Jordan did not watch the movie. Jordan, I would like you to give me, based on what you just watched, I want you to tell us what the movie is, and then I want Bryce to elaborate and tear it up.
Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. I like that. Jordan, go ahead.
So basically, and I might have missed it because I was just kind of in awe at how stupid things were. But something
so 50%
happened.
of the film.
Yeah. So something happened. The Earth's core stopped spinning.
Right.
And apparently Aaron Eckhart is the Bruce Willis of this film and is in charge of taking a train or whatever to the core of Earth.
It's a fucking laser train. Thank you very much.
And laser train, sorry. And do some bullshit science and jumpstart the core. And
by nuking it. Let's get that right. By nuking the center of the Earth. Okay.
Nuking the center of the Earth and outrunning the largest shockwave in history.
Yep.
And DJ Qualls, because of fucking course, why not, has to hack the planet.
Yeah.
And all he needs is Star Trek tapes and Hot Pockets.
That's all
that's all you need.
Saying you need more to hack the entire planet?
That's real, though. That's
hack the
planet. And the hack the planet is a direct quote. That's not us like making fun of. No, he says, you want me to hack the planet. I need Star Trek tapes and Hot Pockets.
Which implies that he's such a fucking badass hacker. This little shit laptop he has right now, good enough. I need entertainment and snacks, motherfucker.
Yeah. So
pretty much.
So here's the more detailed version of what he said. Something that happened is the U.S. government created a super weapon known as Project Destiny. We use that weapon to, without a trace, create earthquakes, on our enemies and destroy them. Because of that, we somehow stop the core from rotating because science.
Because science, everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows that, you start making earthquakes, the core stops moving.
Because
duh. So their big thing is, one, they have a superstar scientist who's a geologist. I'm sorry. At one point in the film, he has people lining up to get his autograph, right?
Yeah, okay.
He's a geologist. They study rocks.
Study rocks, yes.
Like what? He's a rockin' geologist.
Yeah, he's a rockin' scientist. He's a rock star scientist.
Yep.
So, I'm sorry. Geology is not going to get you that kind of fame. You are not Carl Sagan with your bullshit. I'm just upfront. That ain't happening.
Okay.
You don't know.
They take private people, just like you said, the Bruce Willis of the film, and they bring him in as a consult because there's a bunch of events that start happening and no one's freaking out about them. Yeah. So birds start crashing because apparently birds absolutely need because when the core stops, the core spinning is what makes Earth's electromagnetic field, right?
Yes, exactly.
So when that stops, everything that relies on that suddenly is stupid and doesn't know how to use its eyes to fly. and it just goes straight plummeting into the ground and dies.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it.
And also, when pigeons start smacking into your car, rather than hitting the brakes, you're supposed to speed up in this movie, according to
of course
everyone in the film. Because they also,
what happens if you don't? You're gonna get pigeoned.
So, yeah, you're gonna get pigeons, so you got to dodge the pigeons. This is like Flappy Bird in reverse. So
hit as many as you fucking can.
Yeah, and then you escape and you get all the points. And if anyone dies in the meantime, I mean, fuck them. They were probably dumb enough to die in front of your car anyway. So there's that. In Boston specifically, for some reason, the stopping of this electromagnetic wave caused a bunch of pacemakers to stop working, and a bunch of people die
because of microwaves. Because of microwaves. Now,
cosmic radiation coming in because of this magnetic force that's not protecting us. When in reality,
which is true.
I mean, it is technically true in that it would affect the amounts of cosmic radiation, but not nearly as much because the atmosphere is the main thing. Like 95%
so the atmosphere
is the atmosphere, and then 5% is this electromagnetic barrier. No? Okay.
No. So the magnetic field is like shields up on the Enterprise. That's what stops the sun from melting your face off when you walk outside. The atmosphere that's held in is what regulates the temperatures on the planet. But the cosmic radiation, like straight in your face UV kind of shit, that's all stopped by the magnetic field surrounding the Earth.
Here's the thing, though. Even if that's true, right? This has already happened before, to where the magnetic field has like reverse polarity and things like that. It happens like once every 750,000 to 800,000 years.
Yeah, the problem is we don't know what's gonna fucking happen.
No, we do, because life is still here, and there's no evidence of mass extinctions being caused by that event. So maybe there might be a couple more cases of cancer or something, but as far as us being melted, not gonna happen. And the thing
you're not gonna walk outside and get instantly melted, obviously, no. But you're gonna you wouldn't be able to. That's true. You wouldn't be able to spend extended periods of time outside. You wouldn't be able to.
I'm not so sure about that, because like humanity has been longer than, or life on Earth has been longer than 800,000 years.
We've also damaged most of what protects us at this point. I think we're pretty fucked.
I mean, yeah, we've damaged a lot of it. But here's my whole thing is that stopping apparently allowed microwaves to stop pacemakers. Pacemakers have been designed against microwaves since like 1986 or something. So all those people, some of them are like in their 40s, must have had pacemakers installed when they were like 20 something, because their pacemaker just suddenly stopped, and all of them dropped dead at once, which is interesting because pacemakers, when they stop, don't instantly kill you. It's not like your heart stops. It's just they're no longer keeping your heart at a regular pace. It's a pacemaker. So your heart starts as a regular heartbeat, and whatever damage that occurs from that, sure, but it's not instant drop down dead, no movement, no sound, no nothing. I mean, maybe a heart attack here or there or something similar over an extended period of time, but it was like a flash mob of people dropping like flies in the scene in Boston.
Yeah, me and Bryce talked about this earlier. We were like, maybe it was completely uninvolved, and it was world's worst timing flash mob.
Yeah, like the people just thought it was one of the reports because these people dropped, and they're like, oh, it must have been the pacemakers, because no one does science in this movie.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So that happens. And then my personal favorite out of all the disasters, they have like a superstorm and, the classic cliche, Earth is pissed stuff. But my personal favorite is there's an opening in the atmosphere over the Golden Gate Bridge. And it's like a focus. When you take a magnifying lens to ants?
Yes.
It looks exactly like that. The ocean starts boiling, and it slowly it drags over to the Golden Gate Bridge. And the Golden Gate Bridge starts melting and then breaks with all these cars on it. There's a couple things about that are hilarious.
We lost a good ventriloquist that day.
But I didn't get it.
We did lose a good ventriloquist that day, because at one point there's screaming in one of the cars, and it's implied it's the guy in the back seat. But if you look in the rearview mirror of the movie, his mouth is closed.
Yeah.
So they added screaming in post, but you can see that he's not. So he's a ventriloquist screaming for his dummy in the trunk that's obviously on fire.
Obviously.
So that's the only thing I could think of. And the Golden Gate Bridge, something that is designed for, increases in temperature and things like that to stop it from
it's
breaking.
steel and shit, right? I mean,
yeah, it's steel and shit, and then like rebar and concrete and all these things where temperature changes are taking into effect. And granted, this is a very massive temperature change for it to destroy this bridge, but all the cars are fine that are not designed for temperature. None of them are like the tires aren't popping and melting or anything. The roofs of the cars aren't like melting in. The cars are
people
all
aren't just fucking engulfing in flames.
Yeah, people aren't suddenly spontaneously combusting, because I'm sorry, and this will be a very important point for later in the film. But humans are essentially walking candles.
Yep.
We are nothing but fat and squishy bits. That's all we are. So when you light up a human, it burns for a long time. So spontaneous combustion is a thing when you reach temperatures past a certain point.
Well, when you reach temperatures of
that temperature,
fucking bridge melting, your car tire
fire
should have popped, but you should also be dead well before you're going.
With your mouth closed in the backseat of the car. So the Golden Gate Bridge just gets destroyed by God's laser, right? And so the scientists, they call in the Bruce Willis guy. And he's like, all right, I'll put it to you as simply as I can. Earth's dead in 1 year. And then everyone's like, what? And he takes a peach, because they have like a bowl of fruit. He takes a peach and he takes like an aerosol can and does like a flamethrower thing to the peach. And he's like, that's Earth. That's a scene in the film. That's how he explained to them how the world was going to end.
No, I mean, it's a solid way to explain something to somebody. Like,
of course.
One time I was trying to tell my kids, right? I was like, listen, if you don't do the thing, you're not going to get to play with your iPad. And they're like, well, we want to play with the iPad. So I picked the iPad up and I fucking shot it with a flamethrower. And I was like, see?
This is what happens.
That's different. I'm sorry.
It might be a little bit. Yeah, don't call.
It worked
don't
just
call
that one.
CP. Like, no Child Protective Services, please. But yeah, so that happens, and in the trailer, even when he says that line, they're like, well, how do we fix it? And he says, we don't. And then it cuts to the Carl Sagan style geologist who's all famous and stuff, and he goes, what if we could? And then it flash cuts out of the like, that's how the film basically fixes that. It's like, what if though we can do the thing that you said we can't, Mr. Genius?
Well, then in that case.
And the whole reason why these guys are the ones who are called in is because they're the only ones reporting on the fact that every compass in the world suddenly stopped working. No other scientist is coming up in the film
talking about magnetic field, Bryce. What we were talking before. Yeah. What does the fucking compass work on?
Magnetism. All of a sudden, your magnets stop working. Magnetic fields.
Huh? And nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed. Not a fucking Boy Scout. Nobody. Like, there should have been news of, holy shit, no magnet in the world's working. What's going on? But the film just shows
every parent's refrigerator at one time would have just been like, that shit just fucking fell off of it.
Legit, because like they just show people doing their everyday life, like going to the stadium and fucking they show like tourists going to this place in Rome. And then that's where the super storm hits and blows up a bunch of buildings and shit with lightning. Because everyone knows when the core stops moving, lightning.
Ultimate lightning storm.
Now, I'd like to move on to my favorite part of the movie, Laser Train.
All right. We'll get to Laser Train. So their big plan is there's this one scientist who was like shunned by the community because his ideas were too crazy.
Crazy.
And they go to him because his ideas are just crazy enough to work. Another quote.
That's direct quote from the movie.
Yeah, this is all real.
This is just crazy.
And it's this guy, and he's trying to make. He has this material. He's discovered an element that is able to not only resist heat to the point where it could dig into the mantle of the Earth.
Yeah.
But it converts that heat into energy somehow.
Vibranium.
And he's poor. He's out in the middle of nowhere on a farm with his model of what he wants to build.
Which means that they said that's your fucking whack job, and that's even not going to work.
That it works, and then they show up and they're like, "Hey, we know we said it wouldn't work.
In on that.
What would it take to build this in 3 months?" He's like, $50 billion? I don't know. And then the general guy goes,
"Would you take a check?
Would you take a check?" So he builds this thing in 3 months. All right. Yep. And the guy even says that every electronic on the earth, when he's doing the explanation with the flame and the peach, every electronic on the earth is going to be dead in a few months. Right.
Yes.
So 3 months later, no electronics are dead. And we've built Laser Train. And so train. Everyone gets on board the Laser Train, right? And we have a ragtag group of people, a random French guy for no reason. And the French guy even says, I have a wife and kids. So even if I can't save the world, if I could just save 3, I'm happy. So you immediately, as the viewer, go, he's shown his wife and kids. That guy's fucking dead.
Also, let's just point out that it's going to be impossible to save just the 3.
If you don't save the world.
Everyone or no one.
That's the whole point of this. It's an entire cataclysmic event. So, like, it's a dumb line.
You're dumb. He's going to die.
Yeah, like, if you're saving the 3... Oh, he does die. Spoiler alert.
So spoilers for the core, by the way, because...
2003. Like,
exactly.
Give me some fucking... Like, don't start. So, fucking, lo and behold, they get on the laser train. They start digging down. And we get into my favorite parts. One, whales are dumb enough to sing at anything that sounds anything close to them.
Yeah.
That's a giant laser train. You're a whale. You sound like a whale. Whale.
Yeah, so that happens.
So they're digging down, and they're getting through the crust, and we're farther down than anyone's ever before. And then they get into the mantle, and there's like this computer that can read what's coming up, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it's just black space.
And they don't know what it is.
What is that? That's super dense, because anything that dense...
would show as negative space.
Yeah. And then he's like, I never programmed the computer for gaps. And then they realize they start falling, which, by the way, this implies the fact that they're falling implies that they're straight down, right? The whole time.
Yeah.
Because of how it's falling, they're like being pulled back and all this stuff and forward or whatever. Earlier, they were walking up and down the ship as if gravity was keeping them low. But they're like this, so they're walking up and down the ship sideways.
What that implies is not only did this guy create this awesome material that converts heat into power or whatever,
he created artificial gravity.
He also has artificial gravity, yes,
and it only works sometimes.
I never even fucking questioned that.
yeah. And so they go through this gap, which, by the way, it's impossible to have a gap of this size in the mantle because the pressure of it.
Yeah,
Condenses everything down to this point. The other thing is it's a cavern of quartz. They even say, oh, it's all this quartz. And some of the quartz gets stuck in the engine, the propeller or whatever. And they're like, oh, we got to get it. So they put on suits designed for getting out when he didn't design the computer for gaps, meaning he didn't expect there to be gaps because scientifically it doesn't make sense for there to be gaps. But he had suits designed for heat of up to 45,000 degrees. That's important. Remember that number.
45,000.
45,000.
All right.
And tools and stuff for going outside of the ship when he never programmed the computer to read what it would be like if we were going outside the ship. So he's oddly prepared for a situation in one way and not in the other. So they go out of the ship. They're trying to break this quartz, right? Which quartz, one, it's impossible for quartz to exist at this layer due to the temperatures being way higher than what quartz melts at. And the pressure being way higher than what quartz can handle, even if it's not melted, it just wouldn't be formed in this crystallized structure. It would just be melted and gunk. That's it. So the fact that it's there already defies science, but they're outside trying to break this quartz. And I want to point out at this point, there are 2 geologists on board. 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the point of bringing a geologist?
Well, the point of bringing geologists is for situations like this so they can walk them through it. One, geologists don't need to be on board the ship because they've already have this system in place that allows them to communicate somehow.
Yeah, somehow they're talking to people.
They're talking to people on the surface from the mantle. So I can't get Wi-Fi in my basement if my Wi-Fi is above my head.
Yep.
And radio frequencies don't travel through, like wood and concrete. A couple miles into the fucking planet with, liquid magma and shit, I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe radio frequencies wouldn't do so well down there. So how they're talking. So not only did he invent magical unobtainium and
unobtainium.
Yeah, unobtainium and artificial gravity. He's also invented a communication system somehow that would allow him to communicate with the surface from the place where no one in the planet has gone. They're down there. So the geologists don't have to be there. They can consult through this system of communication and say, oh, it looks like that. That's this rock. Geologists, it's not like you have to see what it is. You can just tell me what it is. And I'm like, that's this. It's this. You can cut through that. All right, go. And so there's that. And the quartz is in there. So there's liquid magma that starts filling in this cavern from the hole they put in the top of it when they drilled through it. So they're in panic mode. We got to get out of here. We got to break this thing because otherwise we'll be out in the magma and we've got like 3 minutes before the lava gets us.
Well, because now magically it's dripping through the hole they made.
Yeah, and it wasn't immediately dripping through the hole they made. Also, now that the lava's filling there, they're worried because they won't be able to break the quartz to get out because they'll be submerged in magma and then they'll be stuck down there because the propeller won't move. Here's the thing. They start seeing this quartz start melting in the magma, and they're still panicking. When the quartz is melting, which a geologist would know, quartz can't exist at that temperature and definitely doesn't exist with the temperature of magma. And hey, that quartz is melting over. Let's just all get on board the ship, wait for the magma to fucking melt it, and then we just drive off into the sunset.
Yep. Because the ship can obviously go through magma without a fucking problem.
Obviously.
So...
Actually, hold on. I have a question. The question I have is, the ship can handle magma. The laser drill on the front can drill all through all that shit. Somehow, this quartz being stuck in it, the drill laser can't melt, but the magma can. This feels like an invented problem.
It was, and the drill laser, it can't turn around to shoot because the propeller was on the back, the drill laser was on the front. But they didn't have like portable drill lasers for some reason. They just had like other tools, I guess. But they lose a member. Someone dies out there. Quartz falls.
Oh yeah, that's right. It hits him in the helmet or some shit, right?
Yeah, which is weird because you've created a suit that's able to resist like 3.5K the pressure of human like civilization on top of the surface, and you can walk around in it. But some quartz falling on it, suddenly it's too much. And
by the way, I'd like to. John was here. He was in our chat.
Hey, John.
I'm not sure if he's there now, but it looks like he was commenting on something. So my bad, John. I didn't have the chat open, man.
Yeah, we're not used to the chat yet. We apologize.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So we lose a member,
anyway,
and then they all get into the ship because they run out of time and they think they're going to die. The lava comes, melts the quartz anyway, and they drive off.
Yes.
What they could have done from the beginning that 2 geologists didn't think of. The whole purpose of them being there is for events like that. Both of them failed at their job, and they're supposedly top of their field to the point where they're put in this top secret mission that only they can handle. Fucking oil drillers in space. So, they dig deeper, right? And they realize there's a problem. They miscalculated how the bombs are going to go off. And one of the units was damaged or some shit, and they had to detach it early. And they had to draw straws for who was going to detach it, and they all had wire. One, where did the wire come from? Not many people have like spare wire just lying around. Yeah. So did they destroy electronics for this draw straw situation? You could have just rock, paper, scissors. Like, why are you destroying necessary materials for this mission? And fucking... They draw straws. The black guy, the inventor of this amazing machine, is the one who gets the straw. So we're going to get rid of the guy who is the only one who designed all of this
person
technology.
Who knows how anti-grav works, who knows how laser train, unobtainium. This is the guy we kill.
This is the guy we kill and let die. And he has to go through like this tunnel and detach this part of the ship so the ship can move, and he's going to die, right? So I bring up the point of the 4,500 degrees because the suits were only rated for 4,500 degrees. At this point, they're a 9,000 degree temperature, right? And that's why it's a suicide mission to go outside, because you're not going to make it back. Here's the thing. When you're in a 45,000 degree or 4,500 degree suit and it's 9,000 degrees outside, that's double the amount of heat that it can take. The moment you step out, your body can only handle like a few hundred degrees before it roasts itself, right? So at double the temperature, I'm going to go ahead and say the moment he stepped out, instantly aflame with rock and roll.
Dead, yep.
Not only that, but like 9,000 degrees visually, the incandescent light giving off from that temperature would be instantly blinding. But we're
I mean, not to mention that your eyes
he had magic
instantly
glass visor.
Pop.
Yeah. So he's walking down this tunnel. It's very dramatic. His shoes are melting. The whole reason why he had to do this is because the system, the pod was damaged, and so the system somehow wasn't able to detach it. But there's a manual override inside the pod to detach it.
Yeah.
One, why is your manual override inside the pod? Every train has the manual override to detach a train
on the other side.
Yeah. And two, why the fuck did you not like program the computer to have a fail reading to where you can send a fail signal and then dump?
Yeah. So you have give the man credit. He had to build it in like what, 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months. That's true.
So he probably didn't
cut some corners.
Yeah, he cut some corners.
He probably
the world's only chance.
They weren't supposed to have that. So let's kind of skip forward a little bit. So what ends up? How do they save it? How do they?
Well, their plan to save the world is to blow up a bunch of bombs. Nuclear bombs. Originally, it was just one big ass bomb that they were just going to drop to blow up and then cause the core to move. Then they realized we miscalculated. This one bomb won't do it. It'll just cause this kind of puddle. Because they even do like this whole diagram thing where it's like, if we do a puddle here, it'll make this big a ripple. It won't be enough to keep the core going. It'll just jumpstart it for a little bit and then it'll be done. And then they're like, well, if we do a bunch of ripples, they'll all bounce off each other and somehow that makes it different. And then boom, core is moving. So they realize they have to detach a bunch of pods with parts of this bomb. So they all have to defuse this nuclear bomb and split it up.
It's a movie. This is the movie The Core, John.
Yeah. And
it's 100% fantasy.
And they're handling plutonium directly with their hands. So plutonium is not nearly as irradiated as it used to be because that would burn you and like kill you and insta-cancer. Everyone's dead on this ship.
It's diluted by the unobtainium.
Yeah, the unobtainium diluted the plutonium, obviously. So they start doing that. Guy gets hurt. He burns his hand. Somehow is still able to carry a small nuclear bomb like up a ladder with his burned hand. Yeah. And then he gets stuck. And this is like the Carl Sagan guy. And he's just like, tell my story. Because that's the whole point. Is he wanted the story of this and he wanted a book out of this. And that's why he's doing it. Not because, he'll die without it.
Selfish.
But because he wants his book. So he's like, tell my story. And so he sacrifices himself. They drop off 5 different bombs at different parts of the core. Here's the thing about that. The core is 760 miles, right? Though in this movie, according to them, the core is the size of the Mars, which is 2,160 miles. So
yeah, they do say that.
A little bit of a difference there. But so if it's their version, that's even worse for this plot hole. It took them days to get from the start of Earth down to this core, right? All of a sudden, within a 2-hour period, because they had a time limit of 2 hours, because the government was going to preemptively blow up the bomb, the usual Armageddon situation.
Yeah.
So within that 2 hour,
kidding me?
I'm not. Also, this whole time, there's a hacker kid who's 15, who is both circumnavigating and stopping the government from blowing them up early, and he's also controlling the internet.
Yes.
As a whole, to prevent information spreading of all the events that are happening.
Okay.
So he's hacked the entire internet. That's the whole, you want me to hack the planet.
He's hacking the planet to prevent them from knowing. Anybody from knowing, and this is kind of pre-mainstream social media because otherwise, no fucking
Facebook.
way.
Otherwise, cell phone cams, everyone knows.
Exactly.
So he's doing all that and preventing that from happening and getting a bunch of 404 error messages when he's hacking stuff, which is web page not found, not access denied. 401 is access denied. So he's Googling stuff apparently and somehow failing to hack because of it. And so during all that, they set off all these bombs and they somehow travel 760 miles in 2 hours with this laser train that they couldn't do before.
Train. Well, no. It's faster now because it doesn't have all the
weight from the...
Yeah, sure. You know what? Fine. Fuck it. I'll do my suspension of disbelief, even though they did have it to begin with and they would only gain speed as they drop them. But they do that and then they...
Didn't they ride the waves at one point?
they ride the shockwave through like a pressure tube that gets them all the way up. So essentially, there's some sort of tube that exists from the core all the way to the ocean.
Yes.
They essentially rise, like go through a volcano and then shoot out of the Pacific Ocean and then land. And then they're like, well, now we're dead because we don't have any power because there's no heat and we're in the ocean. And they're like, wait, let's tap like a thing. And the whales were singing at us earlier. If we can just make the whales, that'll let the government know
where we are.
So
Makes perfect sense.
So they do that. A bunch of whales are singing. The 15-year-old kid is somehow leading an armada because the word of a 15-year-old kid beats the orders of a direct, like a general for this armada. The armada goes against direct orders and goes AWOL to save these people. They save them, and then the hacker kid releases their story everywhere on the internet because you gave him the keys to the entire fucking internet. And
you did.
And you didn't expect him to just drop all that information. And that's essentially how the movie ends. The world is saved. A bunch of people died stupidly. And
now
the ending shot is it panning out and the Earth is rotating the wrong way. So somehow the core changing direction changed the planet's direction of movement. And what's weird about that is we didn't all die from that. Because that's like going in a car at 100 miles an hour and then getting shot in reverse at 100 miles an hour. That's 200 miles of force smacking you in the face. All of your bones just crushed. And you're dead.
Unless they're trying to make us believe that the planet had stopped spinning already there for a few moments, in which case, no.
We also would be dead just from the same thing, just being shot off into space.
Exactly. So now here's my whole thing. Now that was a great breakdown. Thank you, Bryce. I much better and more detailed than Jordan's. God.
Yeah.
But
I just did the trailer.
Yeah, that is true. And honestly, just watching the trailer, you're pretty fucking spot on. So
yeah, you got the whole movie through the trailer. You did great.
Now, let me just say that the movie has many flaws, as you've pointed out, and silly pseudoscience that makes no sense. But
and dumb decisions.
I love these kinds of movies. I love the end of the world, no win scenario. Oh, but this guy knows, right? I love that shit.
This is because of science. And these films always make the United States like the one underdog, but only one scientist, because the United States are also with the UN to where no one believes it, but the one United States scientist convinces the United States, and then the United States saves the world.
Exactly. Well, because Science America.
If every compass in the world stopped working at once, I'm pretty sure scientists are going to start reporting on it.
People not if you're hacking the planet, bro.
You know what?
You're hacking the planet and you're stopping people.
You gave the 15-year-old kid
who knew Star Trek and Hot Pockets. You can stop anything.
There's one other scene that we talked about once before, and I just want to go over it real quick. When they're trying to recruit the hacker kid, and he wants to like prove himself, he grabs lead scientist guy's phone, who for some reason is also part of the recruitment process, which makes no fucking sense.
No, see, exactly.
But he grabs the guy's phone, opens it up, grabs a gum wrapper, whistles on the gun, whistles through the gum wrapper at the phone, smashes some keys on it, and then goes, "You now have free long distance for life."
What?
That is not a thing. All right, so that's a technique known as phone freaking, which is something that used to be a thing back in like the 80s for hardline phones.
Because the way the dial tones read.
The dial tones were how computers worked, and how you hacked into computers back then was through sound. You would make a specific dial tone, and that counted as like a key, and then you could gain access to a computer. That's not how that works at all for cell phones or any device made past like 86. I think their technology department stopped at 86. And then everything else is just sci-fi.
Well, except for the laser train thing.
Except for the laser train. That's the sci-fi magic, yeah. So, TLDR, core sucks, but Patrick likes it, I guess.
I really need to watch this movie, though.
You do.
Listen, I'm not saying the core doesn't suck, right? It's not what I'm saying.
No. I'm not saying that you are, but you like it.
Yes. Yeah.
I can appreciate a bad movie. It's just that movie gives me ajima. Like, I can't even...
That sounds so terrible, though, honestly.
I get PTSD from that film. That film is the film that I hold as like the placeholder for whether I can judge a human being fit to live. If they like the core and think there's nothing wrong with it, they need to be euthanized for the betterment of humanity. If they like the core and they recognize its flaws, maybe a kick in the nuts and no more kids. Sorry, Patrick. And then
I'll take the no more kids, bro. I already got 2. Come on. You know where I live.
But and then if they don't like the core or whatever, then they're fit for humans. You can
okay.
We need more of you.
No. I'm okay with that. And so anyway, we talked about it a lot. We teased it a lot. There you go.
That's why we held it off, because I had a lot to say and we couldn't put it in the episode before.
Well, you should have. I mean, honestly, the reason I know why Bryce hates this so much is because he came on at work once, and I'm watching it. And we used to watch disaster films at work all the time.
It was so bad. He
hated it so much, but I fucking loved it.
And it wasn't just like disaster films, like the worldwide ones. It was also like shark disaster films, like Deep Blue Sea and shit. And it was like contingency errors and just bad science and like bad decision making on protagonists. And it did come on work. And
so he's like, "Oh my god, so stupid! Why would he do that?" I'm like, "Ha! I can't believe we did it. That's gonna be great."
I know. And he's just giddy as a motherfucker. Oh. And we had like a chat program, and I was just lighting up the chat with everything that was wrong with that movie. And Patrick was just like, "This movie's good. This made me happy."
Yeah. I'm like, "You're right. That's exactly stupid, and that's why it's awesome.
That's why I fucking love it." Anyway, the balls on him, and I'm like, "No, I don't respect it."
Oh man. So guys, I think it's about time to get the fuck out of here. What do you think?
I think the melatonin has kicked in. I feel like I'm having an aneurysm, so I'm ready to go to bed forever.
Is there anything else?
Rubbing off on me.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything we missed?
Hey.
Nothing.
Nothing I can think of. No.
All right.
Catch me at my stream, twitch.tv/Ocarcius. I'm going to be streaming XCOM 2 soon. And you might see a certain peanut and a certain jelly in the lineup for my squad. So check it out.
Yeah, and spell Ocarcius just in case anybody doesn't get it.
Ocarcius. Ocarcius.
And on Jordan, you got anything going on? Anything other than us? You still thinking about doing guitar stuff?
I am. Yeah, nothing done yet. I'm actually going to be re-recording some stuff with my new guitars. I'm super, super excited.
Cool.
But
cool.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll hear more about that in the pipeline.
Yeah, cool. Well, maybe we'll kick some cool videos to some people. I'm still thinking that I want to put back in talks the YouTube game channel. A little add-on to this. Yeah. Maybe a once or twice a month video thing where it'll be us and maybe 2 other friends just talking video games. So if anybody's interested in that, we're gonna start that up soon. Other than that, Jordan, why don't you plug all the PBnJ shit?
Yeah. Also, sometimes as well, really quick, just on the same subject. Sometimes when I'm playing PS4, I'll stream on Twitch as well. So if you want to say what's up there, if you're ever on there, I'm PBnJ.
Yeah, he is PBnJ. Fucking good job, buddy.
That is glorious.
Thank you. But yeah, follow us on Facebook, of course. the letter NJ Podcast. Twitter @PBnJ Podcast.
Hopefully, look for a Twitch soon. Bryce should get on that.
Okay.
And
good job now, guys.
Check out obviously our YouTube stream. If you're not watching live, watch the video later. When we're on break, we just chill. Sometimes you get some behind the scenes bullshit.
Yeah, hang out with John. He's a cool dude. And he's in our chat.
Yep, John's
awesome, man.
Always in the chat. I think because we're a notification on his phone now. Probably doesn't know how to get rid of us or something. That's why he comes back. I'm just kidding. We appreciate it very much. It's awesome. All right, yeah, I think we fucking nailed it, guys.
Nailed it.
Yeah, we nailed it.
Nailed it. Recording's done.
All right.
I want to veto the early name. We should name it Hack the Planet.
I'm in, man. I fucking
love that. Hell yeah. I am down for Hack the Planet.
Hey, dude, there's a Hack the Planet smiley face. You should find that.
All right.
And use it. Because Hack the Planet was also a hackers thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're trashing our rights, man. They're trashing the flow of data. They're trashing everything. Hack the planet. I will never, ever forget hackers.
Yeah.
Hack the planet.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and sign off the video stream. Thanks for watching the video. We appreciate it. Video stream is ending now. Deuces. I'll pick you guys back up in the other chat.
Sounds good, my guy.
Family.